Hello, everyone. I am Gabriela from Brazil and from the Agriculture and Justice Village, the village that hosts this lesson, which is the fifth lesson of EoF School, and will be in English. We welcome you that are dedicating this time to be with us and talk more about how agriculture and justice operates in communities. We prepared this lesson to be a moment of exchanging experiences and information that comes from the young people who have been building the village and new economies. We invited four villagers that is here with us from Brazil, Uganda, Argentina, and Italy that will share their experiences and lives with us. Their projects can give practical examples on how to implement in different geographical and social economic contexts the pillars on which we build our commitment. So before starting our lesson, we want to remember that the YouTube chat is the space that we can know more about everyone that is watching this lesson. So we invite you to write your name and your country and your village. And after we begin to write your comments, suggestions, and questions. So to start our time together, I call Federica to introduce herself and continue the presentation of our villagers. Fede.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Gabriela. Yes, we would like to start this lesson a bit trying to remember what are the main topics and arguments that we discussed in our village during all this time together. We realized together that the agri-food system is interested by many injustices, and we defined those as the cry of the earth. So the treatment of our biodiversity, the soil impoverishment, the exploitation of our land, our forests, our water resources, and so on. The cry of the poor, so the marginalization and exploitation of different groups in the agri-food system. And then the loss of the real value of food and its unfair redistribution. So for these reasons, we would like to tell some stories together with the protagonists of these stories, people that are trying to build a different agri-food system in their life, in their personal life. So I would like to introduce you to Annette, Miriam, Andrei, and Maria. They will introduce themselves during the presentation and what they do in their life. And after that, we can continue the discussion, maybe with your questions, arguments about this very important topic for us. Thank you. I leave you the floor to Miriam, if she's ready.
Hi, hello, hi everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. So my name is Miriam. I'm from Italy, and I'm a member of the Agricultural Justice Village since the very beginning, so since 2020. I am a farmer, even if my story probably is quite peculiar because I graduated in international law and specialized in migration law. And for more than 8 years, I worked in the migration field with international organizations such as UNHCR and IOM. I work also with some NGOs such as Save the Children and also local cooperatives here in Italy. And thanks to my daily contact with migrants, especially, I had the opportunity to learn how migration processes, climate changes, and environment protection are closely interconnected. So at one point in my mid-30s, and only a few months before of what we now know as the beginning of the COVID-19 global pandemic, I decided to step back from my previous work contract, and I decided to join my small family agricultural business in the northwestern of Italy, and 30 kilometers far from Turin, more or less. So since the very beginning, I decided to join my family farm business, and I decided to produce only organic vegetables. So what we are doing here since 2020 is producing organic vegetables, and in the last 3 years and a half, more or less, we have been facing a very incredible number of challenges. So first of all, we are mainly focused on production processes. So Federica talked about the soil impoverishment, and remember the crying of the poor. And Pope Francis already says that we have to listen to the crying of the poor and also of the soil, of our earth. So what we are doing is putting to give a lot of importance to the way we are preparing soil to cultivate. So first of all, of course, our organic production and our organic process of production is certified. We decided not to use not only any kind of pesticide, but also we decided to stop using any kind of chemical or organic fertilizer. Therefore, we are preparing our soil without any fertilizer. We are neither using any kind of dung. So which is the way we are preparing our soil? First of all, we are using very small and light machineries and tractor. For instance, right now we are using a very small tractor. In this way, we are not pressing the soil too much. Right now, we are not using any kind of plow to prepare the soil. Therefore, we are not the land we are preparing is not turned upside down, but we only use, I don't know if you know what this machinery is, but we use just they call it heavy duty rigid cultivator. In Italian is like ripuntatore, just to move a little bit the soil without turning the soil upside down. And we are also using some agricultural milling machines just to have a very good soil. Why this process is so important for us? First of all, because in this way we are not pressing the soil, and we are introducing in the soil more nitrogen in the soil atmospheres. And of course, nitrogen is very important for the cultivation of any kind of vegetable or of crops. In this way, we are also supporting the most fertile part of the soil, so the very first 20-30 centimeters. And in this way, we are supporting, we could say, the good bacteria and fungi, especially some specific fungi which are which live in symbiosis together with the vegetables, and which are able to provide the vegetables we are cultivating with all the we could say the materials they needed, some more nitrogen or water or whatever they we have been cultivating in this way for more than 4 years. We are still, of course, producing and selling, and we right now we have a very good reply from our customers because we are producing high quality of vegetables. We have been studying this way of production starting from an Italian agricultor. I know, I'm so sorry that their book is only in Italian, but the name of the book is Alle radici dell'agricoltura, to the roots of the agriculture. And this book has been written by 2 Italian agricultors who has been practicing this way of cultivating for more than 40 years. So we are still learning from them. And they said that it's so important to change our way to use soil, to prepare soil in order to cultivate good vegetables, high quality vegetables, and at the same time be able to respect and not to impoverish our land. At the same time, I don't know, I'm just showing you another book, which is from Gaël Giraud, which is a professor at the Georgetown. We were so lucky to meet him during the EoF meeting last September, together with Carlo Petrini, who is quite famous in Italy because of the Slow Food Association. And I don't know again if there is a translation. This book, the name is The Taste of Changing, so Il Gusto di Cambiare. There is an introduction by Pope Francis, and at one point Carlo Petrini states that right now we are producing food for 12 billions of people in the world. So there is not a problem of food production. Right now we are facing a problem related to the way we are producing food. So also Pope Francis requires to Gaël Giraud and to Carlo Petrini to propose to tell people a new way to produce food, and that is what we are trying to do. So focusing more on biological processes in the soil instead of chemical processes of the soil. All this way of cultivating actually is supported by a lot of literature. I have just some scientific articles that I'm still reading. So there are lots of ongoing studies on the importance of microbes and microbiology interaction in the first part of the soil, in the rhizosphere. So just to conclude my my very brief speech, together with the farm of Francesco, almost 1 year and a half ago, we had the opportunity to meet Edward Muller, a professor to the Costa Rica University. We discussed about organic and regenerative agriculture, and Edward Muller told us just to go there and show them that cultivating in a different way is possible. So actually it is really possible. It's what we are, this is what we are trying to do here in Italy right now. And we do really hope that some more people could join us in this different new way of cultivating and of producing food, but at the same time of respecting our earth. Thank you so much. I hope to be on time.
Yes, Miriam. Thank you very much. And now we move to another geographical context with Annette. Please, Annette, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much. I'm Annette Diana Nanono. I'm based in Uganda. Uganda is located in East Africa. And I am a farmer. I'm a coffee farmer. Since time immemorial, I mean, like, I come from a family that is coffee farmers. So, but currently, I am not only a coffee farmer, but also a horticulture farmer. So I am the founder and team leader, Farm and Art Space Community Initiative, and it is a CBO. It is registered as a community-based organization. So we are only operating in 9 villages. So, and what we are doing is we are enhancing the knowledge of rural farmers to carry out agriculture, but with climate change in mind, and to use climate-friendly practices. So these practices include soil regeneration, that is use of more biofertilizers, use of more biopesticides, and also protecting the water bodies as they are farming, making sure that they are not so close to the water, they are not doing farming in the water, and also making sure that the production increases through making this agriculture very attractive to young people. As some of you could know, our country in Uganda has 70% of the population is actually young people who are below 25 years of age. However, most of these young people do not find agriculture attractive. They find it like a dirty job. Sorry. So they find it as a dirty job. They find it like a job for the peasants, a job for the poor, and yet being young is manpower enough, is really good enough to produce so much food for our country. So my vision when I was starting, you say, I'm in a meeting, okay?
I try talking to yourself.
Okay. I'm in a meeting. I'm coming, okay? So when I was I thought of this idea of the Farm and Art Space Community Initiative. It was basically to help young people get into agriculture, into production. I'm coming, just okay? To increase the number of young people to get into production. Because if we have so much land, it is too much, but most of the land is redundant. So what Farm and Art Space Community Initiative is actually focusing on is trying to attract young people to come and get into food production, more food production, but not only food production, but also regenerative ways, using ways that are climate friendly, using ways that are not exploitative to the environment, which is a challenge, but it is okay, it is possible. So when I attended the event at the Economy of Francesco, I became a member of Agriculture and Justice. So I should say that I became a member just last year. And I am glad that I met young people that have the same vision. Like, you see, sometimes when you are trying to form something, you think you are alone. You're actually maybe like the first person to think about that. And you're struggling a bit on how to do it. But when you meet other people actually who have the same thoughts as you, you're encouraged, even the times when you feel like giving up, because some of this work requires a lot of money. You think of those people and like, if they are making it, I can also do it. And I always search for knowledge from them, and they have kept me going. I graduated as an irrigation engineer, but I practiced from project to project, from moving from country to country, like within East Africa, within Uganda, trying to do work for public service and private service, but it wasn't fulfilling to me, because you have to do what they tell you. Even when you see it is something wrong, you have to do that. But during the COVID time, when work was stopped, projects ended, and so much ended, it gave me a chance to think and also try to come up with something that I've always wanted to do. And this is how I started this. I got a few other members that we almost share the same vision. And with the help of my family, we were granted permission to use land, and which land we are renting out to young people This year, we are hosting 4 young people, 4 young ladies who are using this land under our mentorship from some volunteers, just people who already have experience in agriculture, in regenerative agriculture. They offer to actually do the mentorship for these young people. So these young people will be on the land for 1 year, and the objective is for them to learn how to do it, to produce food, so that when they go out from here, they will be able to have confidence to produce it in their own villages. Because most of the young people have land like in their village, but it's not productive. There is no agriculture going on there. So, but they need confidence. They need someone to teach them how to do it. Then they will get the confidence to do it. So basically that is what we're doing. So I am glad that I have members from the Agriculture and Justice that are encouraging me. Farm of Francesco, very nice people who even encouraged me to go to the COP and even supported me. And there I even met better people, like people who are actually more passionate about what I am doing in the economy of love, in Egypt. And it is just amazing. I'm not going to stop doing this. For now, it is not something that I'm earning from or what, but it is fulfilling, and I am ready to do this. So I also encourage other young people out there who would want to do something like this we join hands and encourage each other to move on, to show farmers and other young people how they can actually do the agriculture that is regenerative, organic. And yes, we shall make a very big difference. The little we can do, we can do. The little we can do, we should do with a lot of love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annette. Your words are really energy for all of us. And now we jump to the third speaker, which is Andrei from Brazil.
Hello, thank you, my village. Thank you. I'm Andrei from Brazil, and thank you, Gabriela, for start this simple presentation. I'm member to the village and part of a Mother Earth Alliance. As aliança, this aliança, we're thinking of a paradigm shifting initiative. We established an alliance, a common bond between the peoples and the common home. Now, I start the video from this next slide. Represented the community of Guaranis and peregrination. And first the song, Gabi. The song is the letter is yes, let's to get stronger all together. Let is yes, sing your songs and be happy. We represent the way of the land of the happiness. And play Gabi. No, but this is the cantion to he sung in this video. Next, to do, we seek to recognize the fundamental role of the women in family and peasant agriculture, in communities and relational bonds of an ecological economy, and already happens. In this sense, establishing the pact to the women, the mother, and the seed earth, Son de St. Francis in the Cantic of Creators. This event, next slide, please, Gabi. The pilgrimage of the earth is a historic event that began in Bom Jesus da Lapa, Bahia, and concomitantly in Rio Grande do Sul, for use in memory of 1500 Guaranis missionaries of the Jesuit seeds, marked the story of the south of your country, and remembered annual in this itinerant peregrination for Mother Earth and the urgent transformation. Please, Gabi. The next. For almost 50 anos, in many places of Brazil, there will be traditional pilgrimage to Mother and Sister Earth. Next. And this pilgrimage of earth, né, we are born from the breath of the Holy Spirit to women and men touched by their society realities. Faço uma rápida tradução em português do que eu quero dizer, porque realmente meu inglês não é muito bom, de dizer que estas iniziative nascem do clamor dello Spirito Santo, per quelli che capiscono nell'italiano, nella realtà della Chiesa, così, sguardando la realtà, cominciano a camminare per la terra. 50 anni si fa this peregrination. Next, Gabi, please. The access to land from women's perspective is a permanent theme in the path of the pilgrims of the earth. Rule recall the society of good living with Christianity in this memoria of community Guaranis. Next. We have a good life in society and agroecology is the horizon. Everything, the good life in society and agroecology is use horizon. Next. The experience of Catholic youth, they recognized the indigenous peoples and women peasant, and the ideas and dreams of the youth is your main mission. Next, the groups. Yes, is a itinerant and ecological and fraternal Christian assembly. The power of assembly and strengthens the networks of the social and solidarity economies that already exist. Next, Gabi. The groups, the youth, Black people, indigenous people, farmers, ecologists, and popular movements and social pastoral together. Next, Gabi, please. And experience of the priest, especially because the presence of the Christ is the central point of this pilgrimage, and which women and men and a cultural and social, political, environmental assembly remember and the character is your legame, né? Tra di noi, como agora falo um pouco em português para dizer que essa experiência de romeiros da terra, de peregrinos da terra, ela representa para nós não só um vínculo com a terra, mas um vínculo com Cristo e com a sua mãe Maria, que caminham conosco. Então, além de ser um momento de escola do ensino social da igreja para nós jovens, ela também é um encontro com outras realidades e um pensamento político-social. E aí, essa ideia da mulher mãe terra, de uma aliança pela mulher mãe terra, vem se consolidando desde os últimos anos, também através da nossa conscientização. Nós estamos preparando a próxima e as próprias mulheres trouxeram como tema a necessidade de resgatar esse vínculo. Thank you very much. Excuse my English, and I'm very happy to this moment. Excuse me.
Thank you, Andrei. And I think everything was clear because the presentation also was written in English. Thank you for your effort, also this language effort. And I leave the word to Maria Virginia, who is the last speaker. Please, Maria.
Thank you, Fede, and thank you, everyone. I'm going to share my screen as well to share part of how we live agricultural justice in the community and the story of the farm of Francesco. I am Maria Virginia from Argentina, and I've been part of the Agricultural Justice Village since the beginning of the journey. When at the beginning of the journey, our village was organized in different groups. One of the groups was the startup stream. So every time we want to share how the story of Farm of Francesco started. We like to say that it started with the faces of people. At that time, that it was COVID time, this is the way that it started. So it started with many of us joining online from different countries and sharing what was the different injustices that we were seeing in our realities in agriculture. And through that, coming with the idea of what then was the Farm of Francesco. And we had the opportunity to share the story and most part of the path last year in Assisi to Pope Francis. And I know some people of Farm of Francesco team is in the YouTube channel, and they will be sharing the links so you can hear as well like what was the origins of the Farm of Francesco and how we got to be what we are. And the story that I would like to share today is the story of the present of the Farm of Francesco and the things that we have been working at the past year. So we discovered with the youth and after a lot of trials and a lot of doing things in different parts, that Farm of Francesco was and is co-creating a just agricultural and food system in two ways, like from the ground up and putting the farmers at the center. And we do that through two main specific actions or levels. That one is on the ground, focusing especially on educational projects. And we did a lot of our work at the beginning thanks to one of our team members, and then because of reality in Nigeria. And I will be sharing some of the things of the project today. And the second thing that we do is bringing this constant communication between on-the-ground projects and the global processes, such as the UNFCCC, COP, and also connecting with other sectors as the university sectors and trying to always bring in a bridge between reality and academy, reality and policy making and so on. Always putting the farmer at the center. And as we were hearing today, like a lot of the experience and the value of knowledge many times comes from experience itself, from reality. So one of the ground educational projects that we did started thanks to an award that we received, a recognition actually that we received from Carlo Acuti's Francis of Assisi Award, that many of us of Agriculture and Justice contributed, like Federica is here in this call and is also in the screen in this picture. And this award and these recognitions let us develop a project in Nigeria that started by the process of seeing. So together with our team member Rita and other people in Nigeria, we started getting close to 5 villages in the region of Ibadan in Nigeria and talking to the farmers and listening what were the main struggles that they were having, but also starting from the part of listening what they were producing, how they were producing, and what were the different things that they were living in their communities. And through that process, we were able to develop two actions. One was to co-create an educational training that happened on the ground in Ibadan, Nigeria. And the second thing is it's an online platform where we are able to create content and courses based on the knowledge that comes from the seeing stage. And what I want to share first is what happened on the ground, the training. In this discernment, like for both things, the website and the training, we always have 3 pillars present that we want to share with farmers, that are the pillar of social economical, meaning that the farmer, it's a farmer and it also has the potential and the responsibility to create an economic positive, like economic impact in their families and in their communities and provide a livelihood for their families. We were seeing a lot of disconnection at the beginning between farming as such and this, the value that farming can generate in the economics. So for us, like, what's really important to create this importance and to share the knowledge or entrepreneurship of how to sell products, what to plant, or what can be for the family, but what can be sold, with the farmers. Then the second is the environmental pillar, so the principles of regenerative agriculture that I think that Miriam was sharing a lot at the beginning. So how to produce and how to build different things on their farms. And the third point is the spirituality. That is like the connection between the different farmers and with themselves. So for doing that, we partner with an organization in Ibadan, Nigeria, that is Pax Herbals, that through a period of a training was able to receive 12 farmers from the different regions of the different villages. And through that process, develop these different trainings with these farmers, and also like showing the different things that they are doing, principally with like medical plants, with honey production, with mushroom production. So all things that can be produced in their farms, and also like that farmers that are currently the farmers that attended that are producing and have like pig production or have like different things in their agricultural production can also act in their farms and share to their community, and building a model that is not only like one production, but also something more that is integrated to the production that they are doing. So it was like this on the ground training where like farmers were always like having the symbol of the circle, because it was the symbol of sharing. Farmers are not only coming and listening, but also sharing from their experience, because they all have like their challenges, they all have like are producing and are very connected with their communities. And the when we say about the spirituality, like something that was really present during the training was the image of the candle. And this candle that you can see there was present in most of the days and during the night and at the beginning of the day for them. And when the training finished, the farmers were invited to keep this candle on. And that is something that really marked and was really symbolic for us, and really turned that into actions, because what is crazier from this way for us of bringing justice to agriculture is what happened after that training. After that training, the farmers got really as a family, as a community, and most of them, if not all of them, got really engaged between each other, started taking this so seriously into action that they started, like a couple of them already giving training of the concepts that they learned to their communities, and even some of them like working together to already put the things into practice. So this is Paul and he with other farmers like put together the project of already building the beehives and already like integrating that in their farms. So like that's why for us that is so important, and that's why for us this is bringing the justice in agriculture, like with the land and with the different practices, but the most important thing is putting the farmer at the center and making these boundaries between them, these like connections between them. So I know like I have to finish soon, so I only want to share like very quickly the images that I have left, that are the course from Francesco, the different courses, also with these 3 pillars that we are still developing, and there are some courses already uploaded that the farmers can have access, and our idea is for the farmers even to keep creating content here and to be this like a community platform of knowledge, or like share knowledge. Other actions that we do at the global level, I was saying, like connecting with different sectors and different like universities. In this case, this is a project that we started doing with the Oxford University around integral ecology and sustainable and regenerative agriculture, that led into more projects that we are working together. So that is all, and thank you very much for the time and for listening, and thank you, Fede and Gabi.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you all for giving us this incredible presentation. These are your stories and are real examples of how everyone can walk this path that has no one solution. We saw very different ways of doing things in the same direction, but in different ways, in different countries, with different communities. So now, before going to the end, I would like to share some questions that arrived in our chat. And maybe then we leave us with a final reflection. So one question that is for everyone is, what are the greatest challenges you all face in trying to carry on a non-pesticide planting? Maybe, yeah, feel free. Maybe Miriam could start with that, but I think everyone is able to say something about it. Yeah.
Okay. If you want, I can just start to reply to you. Well, actually, we are spending a great amount of time just removing weeds. A little bit with the support of some machineries, and also with the support of many people. But I can't see any other challenge actually. It's not a problem for us not to use pesticide, and neither not to use any kind of fertilizer. It takes just a lot of time just to take care of the greenhouses and on the fields. Just a lot of time to remove weeds. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Miriam. Yes, we really understand, yeah, this kind of struggle. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if Annette wants to add something on that. Otherwise, we can also go to the following question.
Okay, thank you so much. On my part, it is a little challenging because the providers of service providers for the chemicals, okay, for the inputs that are very conventional, they have a very big say in the country. So for those who are trying to bring up regenerative agriculture and organic farming, it is really a very big challenge in my country. That is why we are trying to come up with a consortium. There is a consortium that was already made. It's called Nogamu, like trying to join farmers that are actually practicing organic farming and regenerative agriculture. So we are trying to energize each other, to encourage each other not to give up on this. So basically, the truth is that it's challenging here.
Thank you, Annette. This really gives us also the important perception of different geographical contexts that face definitely different challenges. And I think the second question we have is really able to put us all together, because it says we often get eaten by the system when we try to adopt a more sustainable way of cultivating and consuming, which could be a key factor to help us to overcome such difficulty. Who wants to go on with this very complex question?
I'm happy to start, and then one of our friends can continue. I will just feel and share from the example of that we live, no? Like for us was in the challenge on the things that when we try to do something different, or when we try to do something that we believe but others think that we are crazy, for me it's about like sharing with the other. Like we were sharing about like how the Farm of Francesco story started, and many of the people in the team that I didn't mention, but like many of them, Mateus, Flor, Fede, Giacomo, and many others, was like it was about the sharing. And today, like when I was sharing about the candle and keeping the candle on, it was also about the sharing. So like for me, that is the key. Like if you are really struggling on how to make that change, like probably start sharing with other person, and I'm sure there is another crazy like you that wants to do something different, and then suddenly like you are not alone, and you can move by doing that. Yes, it's challenging, and there are a lot of days that you ask yourself why you are doing what you are doing, but it's easier to carry when we are doing that together.
Thanks, Maria. Yeah, Miriam maybe wants to add something.
Totally agree with you. Sometimes is so different being working and living in such a system. But talking about from we could say production point of view, I think it would be great if we could just start just to have a look what's going on around us. So maybe there's something that is producing vegetable at local level, so close to us, and so we can just decide to go and to buy our vegetable at local level instead of in a big market or in a supermarket, and see if there are some people just raising cows or whatever, producing milk just around us. So probably the first step we could really do is start having a look of what's going on at local level, because there are so many people, so many agriculture working in such a great way, maybe just so close to us. So I think this could be actually the very first step, and then just step by step, but this could be the first point.
Thank you, Miriam. Yes, it's interesting and very important, this way of like trying to reduce the complexity of this big system by looking at the local level. And I think this is also what many of your projects are trying to do. I don't think we have more questions from the chat. Maybe Gabri wants to say something.
Yeah, I was translating here in the chat for Andre, and if he wants to say something, we can try to translate in language you feel comfortable. Andrei.
Bem, Gabi, obrigado. Eu estava até treinando uma frase em inglês aqui para dizer que o principal sinal de resistência é a comunidade, é ser feliz na comunidade. E por isso que o vídeo, aquele que não conseguimos apresentar, é importante, porque representa principalmente na sonoridade das vozes femininas, das mulheres indígenas, esse vínculo, esse legame em italiano, ou seja, como aquilo que nos perpassa, que é mais do que a soma de nós mesmos, esse todo que a Fratelli Tutti nos convida, inclusive. Eu queria dizer, para mim, não ser engolido pelo sistema mundo é exatamente ter uma comunidade, um vínculo com quem querer ser bem, né? E, enfim, é um pouquinho do que eu quis também apresentar na apresentação. Muito obrigado.
Yeah. So Andrei shared with us many things about what he was talking before. So the community is the key. Live in community, have our friends together, and get and fight together against the system is the key. And when we hear the women voices, we can do it like stronger. And he remembered about the video that we tried to share. And I think maybe if we agree here, I can try it again, maybe with the sound. Yeah, okay. So it's a music from indigenous people that says that let's get stronger all together, let us sing our songs and be happy. And I think it summarizes what we are talking about, fighting against the system. And if we go together, experiencing in local level what we want to the structure, we can go further. So I will try to show you the video here. Share sound. Okay, can you hear it? Yeah, in our Brazilian experience, this pilgrimage and this kind of walk together is part of our work and our lives. Is very strong to us when indigenous people and ecologists and farmers and then everyone get reunited to sing and to celebrate and don't let the candle goes down like Maria Virginia was saying it to us. So maybe if you want to
Thank you. Thank you, Gabi. So I think we are going close to the end of the school, and I would like really to thank you everyone who listened to this meeting, but also to our guests, which are not guests but are part of our village. I just would like to underline some keywords that I think we can bring with us to continue reflecting on these topics. Our lesson was kind of an uncommon lesson, so we didn't started from theories, but we started from practicing these principles that are part of our life. And I think some words to summarize this could be care for our land, care for our communities, building agency meaning that, as Annette was saying, means also reaching people to let them have more confidence of what could be their power, but it's also about advocacy for the people who are not able to defend their own rights. And in the end, it's also about action that support this global process of transformation. So I think we touched all these points, and I would like to say goodbye by reminding the next school, the next appointment of the school, which is on the 26th of June, and is organized by Management and Gift Village. So thank you, everyone. And we will share with you some handouts later with contents related to what we just discussed.
So with action, care, and community, we follow up, we continue our work in our village, and we met at the next lesson on June 2050, and we wait for you there. Bye-bye.
Thank you.